I don't mean to say this like to be disrespectful, and maybe this is some people are gonna think this sounds dumb, but I feel like there's a deeper reason why,
Yes, of
people of
course.
color and specifically the Black community have
Mm-hmm.
been relentlessly persecuted. Like, I mean,
Go
just the
ahead.
things
Go
that
ahead.
happened during slavery alone, like, were insane. But I don't know, the more I learn about Black history
Keep
and
saying it.
the ways that, people
Keep
who
saying
literally worked in
it.
the government, like the CIA, all these different people in power were trying to ruin the Black community. And it makes me think, dude, I feel like, is there something more going on here than just racism? Because it's like, come on, you're telling me you're doing all of this stuff just because you don't like someone's skin color? I feel like, what if, I have this theory that, like, what if Black people have some type of superpower? Like, what if they have, I don't know, if they're just born something with something very valuable that we don't really know about, but maybe, like I said, these people, these rich people and these people in power, maybe they figured it out a long time ago, and maybe that's why they were like, oh, we have to like get rid of them, blah blah blah. I don't know. I feel like maybe they have something special that we are not taught about, that is linked to them being people of color. And I've seen some Black creators come on here and try to explain how special it is to have melanin in your skin and how it has all these different properties. But I don't know. I just feel like I feel like this. I have this theory that this goes so much deeper than maybe a lot
Wow.
of us realize. Because I'm sorry, but I don't think you're gonna go out of your way for all these hundreds and hundreds of years to try to ruin one group of people over something as silly as, oh, their skin is a different color. Like, I feel like there's something that we don't know. I'm telling you, there's something special about them that they don't want us to know. Okay, this
You
is
will
just
never
something that I've been
know.
thinking about
You will
recently, and
never
I'm like,
know.
maybe if there's some Black creators that maybe they already made a video and I just didn't see it. I don't know, but like, I don't know. Maybe this sounds dumb, like, or maybe this is like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But it's just something I was thinking about.
You see that video? It made my day, right? I saw that video and I felt like, no, let me bring it to my sisters and my brothers, people of color, and my fellow Black people. You see that video is exactly who you are. You see your color keep making them guess. But why? Why are they like this? Why are they like this? But you guys keep getting angry. Why are they treating us the way they're treating us? They're not meant to treat us this way. Come on, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? Imagine they're guessing. They have so many people who kept saying there's something about, especially the Black community, there's something about your skin. There's something about the melanin. You better know, keep watching those videos and I'll be back.
Some of the most racist people that I've ever been around are the kindest to animals. They will sit there and dote on their dogs and just like really make sure they have the most pampered, amazing life possible, while at the same time defending police violence, using racist dog whistles, or even criticizing movements that promote social equality. You would think that compassion for humans and animals go hand in hand, but for many people it does not. Because ultimately they see their pets as an extension of themselves, whereas with other people who are members of minority groups, they see them as this distinct and separate entity. That's why you'll also see white people have a lot more sympathy for the white South African immigrants that came here. Their empathy only goes as far as themselves or their families, so that includes their dogs, that includes people with the same skin color as them. But the second they are asked to empathize beyond that, that's when it stops, because their hatred has consumed them, which has led to a historic pattern of white people treating their animals better than human beings. And when they owned human beings and animals, the animals were treated much better.
I am trying to get real with myself and with other white people, and it is painful work. There's a whole lot of blame toward Black people for being the cause of how white people treat them, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. I decided to take a closer look at slavery, since that's such a big topic in the United States. There has been slavery all over the world forever, and all colors of people have enslaved other colors of people for as long as we know about. But the transatlantic slave trade, in which Europeans brought African and Caribbean Black people to the United States to be free labor in the new colonies before they were really the United States, is a whole different story of slavery. Slavery historically had to do with who won and who lost a war, who was convenient, who stumbled by at the wrong time, and so it wasn't specifically race-based. So why did these white Europeans choose black people to enslave? Because their physical differences from whites made it easier to create lies that they were biologically inferior. They invented science to defend this. It was easier to make these people who looked so different from us less human. And that lie made it easier to justify torture, rape, family separation, and death on a massive scale. And it made them, quite frankly, easier to identify if they tried to escape. The legacy didn't disappear when slavery ended. Eugenics came along and fed the racial superiority notion of whiteness, and it influenced the Nazi narrative along with the racial one. It carried over into segregation, Jim Crow, housing, policing, incarceration, education, all of that. If we're ever going to fix what's broken, we need to get curious enough to name how it got broken in the first place. White people need to get curious so we can say no more, not on my watch.
Why do white people, and yes, I mean white people, have to make situations unfucking comfortable for everyone else? And while this conversation does not pertain to every single white individual, just hear me out. I don't know about other minorities, but personally for me, when I walk into events with almost exclusively white individuals, I always just kind of like hold my breath, because I anticipate, which it doesn't always happen, but I do anticipate that there will be someone who does something that's a bit ostracizing for me. They, point me out, and then I feel like an other. And so I hope this conversation really leads to open dialogue about what's really going on here, or why it's not okay, because it's not okay. But basically, I went to a unifying event, and the first instance was I had an individual, and we were all in a group setting, and we were all talking about how many children we wanted. And as people are going around the circle, I'm just like, oh, that's great for you, not for me. I personally do not want kids, but I love that for you. And the thing is, both ideas are okay. They're okay. However, the individual next to me turns over and goes, just because your people don't allow having more than one child, that doesn't mean you have to look down at the rest of us. And everyone was just kind of taken aback by that statement. And we were like, and especially me, I have no idea where this level of aggression came from. It was kind of spoken in a more aggressive tone and with a disapproving face, if I may describe. And so I'm over here like, and so I look over at my friend who was directly behind them, someone that individual actually cares about in terms of their opinion. And they go, why would you say that? And they then turn around and say, hey, I'm sorry if that offended you. Are you sorry about what you said and how it's actually not okay to say things like that, and you should really consider your choices moving forward? Or are you just sorry that it offended me and that I'm the one that was offended from that? Because either way, it doesn't make it okay. Anyways, I try to move past that, and then later on when I encounter two gentlemen that I had to bring news to, before I even said something when I came to their table, the first one says an entire lengthy statement in Chinese. For reference, I'm Korean. And so I just stand there and I nod my head, just listening. And as soon as they finish, I say, so I am not Chinese, but how very cool that you know how to say something like that. And I try to move forward with my statement, and they interrupt and they go, well, then what are you? What am I? Like an animal, And I say, my nationality is Korean. And then I get cut off again. And then the second gentleman goes, 안녕하세요. I understood that. It is very, very poorly stated, but it is hello in Korean. And I say, oh, well, hello to you too. Very interesting how you know that. Cut me off before I can move on again. And they state, yes, because I served in the Korean War over there, and I saved your people. Just like that. My people. I don't know what to say in that fucking situation. Thank you so fucking much. I'm in America now. Oh my God. Dude, I was born here. And so a spark of defensiveness came out of me, and I just immediately state, I was actually born here. I just visit every now and then. And Several other statements were said after that, but I don't really want to go into it. And then I come back home and I tell my friend, my closest friend, who is also white, and as I'm telling them about the statements the gentlemen have made, they laugh. They laugh. And I deadpan them and I'm like, why are you laughing? And they go, well, it's not that what they did was funny. It's just I'm not surprised that someone like that. I have a good understanding of who this kind of person is and why they would say something like that. You have a good understanding of what kind of people they are, and you think that that's acceptable or that's funny in some way, or it's just, I find that minorities look at situations like this and we think we need to step up and take action to point out how this behavior is not okay. Just like how with any behavior with children, if they do something wrong, we point it out and we say it's not okay. But white individuals, having grown up in environments where it's not so bad to the point that a parent points it out and say no, that they just grow up and they just roll their eyes and they're like, oh, that's just Bob being Bob. Like the idea of boys will be boys. But I look at the situation and I'm just like, no gender, no race, no age should ever be allowed to say condescending or ignorant comments that make other people feel like they are an outsider. That behavior in general is not okay. And if we wouldn't allow our children to participate in that behavior, right? Whether it's pertaining to race or anything else, why would we allow ourselves is the real question. And I hate this next argument of, oh, why do you have to make everything about race? It's not always about race. Well, that's the thing. I didn't make it about race. They did. I felt like I was a part of a unified collective event until I was pointed out as another, as an outsider. We could have had a conversation about everything else, how beautiful the venue was, how wonderfully the event was going, all the people that we know, common interests, but instead they had to point out my race and how my race defines me.
So this lady asks, this black lady, are white women really that scared of black women? And I'm going to say yes. And this is my opinion as a white woman who is 53 years old and has lived in the South in Georgia my entire life. But it's not being scared, but it's a fear. And it's not a physical fear. It is the mental fear. It is what we see in you and what we see you doing and how it challenges us and the fear of that. So we see black women and we see how strong you are. We see you coming together as a community. We see you supporting each other. We see you supporting your community, supporting your families, supporting your children, going out and fighting for your rights, being authentic in your race and in your femininity. Anyway. And we're jealous. I think we're jealous because we would love to be that, I think, and we don't know how to break out of the indoctrination that we have been suppressed by our entire lives. And I'm not giving white women a pass, don't get me wrong. But I know I, and most women, white women have been told our entire lives, be quiet, know your place, be a good girl, don't rock the boat, don't be too much. And when you are any of those things, you are ostracized because you have rocked their boat. And that is what black women are. You rock our boat, our mental boat, because you challenge us to look at how we are deficient and not living in our truth, and it makes us uncomfortable. And people don't like to be uncomfortable, and it makes us start to question ourselves, and people don't like to question themselves. We would rather live in our little bubble of white supremacy and what we know and comfortableness. I know that's not a word. Than a lot of people would, white women would, rather than challenge themselves to grow and know more, because it's easy. Doing the work is hard. It's really hard. I've been doing the work the past several years, and it's hard. It's hard admitting some truths about yourself and some truths about yourself as a white woman. So yeah, I think that white women are scared of black women because you challenge us in that way, and a lot of us don't like it. And that's why we fear you. It's because we fear what you make us face.
So happy, right? This makes my day. Look at my face. I feel so happy. I feel so blessed. I've always said it. There's something about you. You being a black person, there's something about you. And I want you to keep seeing yourself as that, right? Carry yourself well. I don't like the whole These guys don't like us. These guys, don't, can you just wear it as clothes, right? When I hear things like this, I don't bother about racism. I'm telling you, when I think about things like this, I don't bother that this person feels a certain way about me. I don't, to be honest. And I keep saying that about people, right, in the diaspora, people in America, right, people with color in America, black people especially. You guys are great. You guys are great. I know a whole lot of things are going on, which is not really easy. You know, it's easier for people here in Africa to look at you guys like, it's like these people are really having fun. But it takes a lot for you to actually look down and know that these people are going through a lot. No matter what they earn, there's still this mental, they always have this thing in registered in them. Our parents, our forefathers, our ancestors were maltreated. Our ancestors were meant to work on farms. We're not even given food or water. It's still there. And that's why most of the time I really, really feel black American um, pains. I feel it when they're angry. So I'm like, I just keep quiet. To be honest, if I'm in America, I won't have any problems with a black American because see, the trauma is going to be there. It's going to be there. But I like videos like this. I like you to know that people see you a certain kind of way. Can you imagine what she just said? That she wonders what it is about you guys. You people are chosen. I want you to remember that even the Jesus himself is a black man. Yes, you guys are chosen, and you guys are the reason why these people keep getting scared of you people. Don't you see it? Carry yourself like it, embody it. You're everything and more, right? You are everything and more. And I love you all so much. You guys are doing incredibly well. Please, if you have a problem, do not feel bad to share with me. I'm your sister. You can come to I'm going to put my contacts, my email here, so you can reach me directly. I'm a very good listener. No matter how busy I am, I find time for people, to actually listen to people and to actually talk to them, sometimes even cry with them. I think I find joy in doing that. And I love you all. Make sure to subscribe, like, share this video, right? And I hope this makes you happy as well. Write reasons why those people feel you guys are different. I want to see them in the comments. Bye, guys.